Hey, gals and guys, it's Christopher Mosier from MyMediaHelper.com, and this is kind of like part two of my journey to monetization and demonetization. The first part was kind of my background and how I felt about YouTube. And this one's more giving you what happened and showing you what happened and giving you an idea. And hopefully, this will help you moving forward. You won't make the same mistakes I have made mistakes. This is not totally YouTube's fault. I just feel there's a couple things with YouTube, their policies that are kind of sketchy. One is very sketchy, which I'll share with you, and one is where's the line to how much content you can use from others as far as fair use, as far as clips and things of that nature. That's kind of where I'm coming from. Those two factors that kind of pissed me off. Now, here's my channel. Obviously, you're on it, right? It's mostly just tutorials, computer tutorials. There are some movie reviews, and there were public domain movies on here, public domain stuff that I would put on here. Like Halloween time, I'd put a bunch of Halloween public domain stuff on here. Christmas time, I'd put a bunch of public domain Christmas stuff. And if I got any type of copyright, not strikes, but warnings, I would take stuff down or I would change stuff based on the warning. I would never push it, nor would I didn't want anything to happen to my channel, and I don't want to abuse anyone's property either. So I got monetized in December, like middle December or something to that fact. And here, I'll show you right here. So this is where I got monetized, and you can see right here how much I made. A couple $100 in December, a couple $100 in early January. So they did monetize me based on my content. I had public domain movies on there when I got monetized. I'm assuming the same people that monetized me are the same people who demonetized me, unless they change staff in a month or two. So if they looked at my channel the first time and monetized me, then that's great. I got monetized. But what pisses me off is they turn around and demonetize. Like, don't monetize me in the first place then. Totally burst my bubble as far as that's concerned. But I understood when they got back to me, when they first demonetized me, to the fact that I had too much. They didn't want, and I didn't really understand that until I actually read it and they sent me the link to the fact that you can't use other people's, even if they let you, other people's videos or other people's properties or other people's stuff, just basically without changing it to something else, like a documentary or commentary. And I have a lot of commentaries and documentaries on here. So here, what I wanted to show you right here, and there's my channel. There's just the videos I have. So here it is right here. This did say April 7th. Now it's July 7th. And so you've got 3 months to clean up your act, basically, is what they're saying. So I got 90 days. I had 90 days the first time. So my first 90 days was up until April 7th. So I took all that public domain stuff down, took all those movies down, any TV shows that I had, and I did leave up my movie reviews and my documentaries where I use clips. So they got back to me and they said the same thing. It's basically the same thing. Short videos you compiled from other social media websites, collections of songs from different artists. Click on moments from your favorite show. I don't have any of those up. Content uploaded many times by other creators, possibly because I'm doing movie reviews. Promotion of other people's content. Short videos you compiled from other social media websites. Very few. I think I have like a clothes changing one, but I manipulated it to make it its own thing, and I had a commentary and a reason behind it. So I felt that I complied with all this stuff. And again, I was denied on April 7th. So that kind of pissed me off. And I reached out to the Better Business Bureau. Now, the Better Business Bureau is its own entity. It doesn't have any power to do anything. They can get in contact with the company and I did this with Meta before. They got in contact with Meta when they canceled my account. And I have videos on that if you want to learn about that. So they contact Google/YouTube, and I did get a response on that, and I'll talk about that, and I'll show you that response. I'll scroll through it, and you can pause the video as you go, and you can read the whole thing if you want. So basically, I reached out to the Better Business Bureau. I had a conversation, or at least an email correspondence with someone at YouTube, and then I reached out to the Attorney General. Google is mainly in California. So I reached out to the California Attorney General and just say, hey, this is not fair. So one of the things that really extremely pissed me off is this fact. So as you see, I do have monies. I have to get back to it. Oh, it's right here. I do have monies in my accounts. I have $450 in there, right? That's a fill my gas tank a few times. So it's like, okay, I was corresponding with them, and you'll see the letter. How about the money that's already in there? So this is the response they gave me to start with. So it says, since your channel has been suspended from the YouTube Partner Program, you are no longer entitled to earn any revenue under YouTube's channel monetization policies, which I totally understand that. We may also withhold earnings and, when appropriate and possible, use them to refund advertisers and viewers for purchases. So that money, when advertising's ads were on my videos, on my channel that you made money at, and I got a portion of that, as monetization is, you are no longer, at the time that you monetized me, I'm not any longer entitled to that money. I think that's bullshit. I'd really like to know what you think. The other thing was I looked at other channels. I had 3 months, right, to take things down, to compare mine to other channels. These are great channels, by the way. That's not the first one I wanted to show you. These are great channels, by the way. I love all channels. I don't have nothing against these channels. These are channels I watch. So Elvis the Alien right here. This is Madam Web. So he did a Madam Web. It's pretty funny. You should watch it. I encourage you to watch all these channels. He did a Madam Web review. So many shots and many clips of Madam Web through his review. And reviewers do this all over the place. It's not just him. Right here, this girl right here, very pretty girl. Cruel World, Happy Mind. She's doing really long videos now. This is 5 hours. Anyway, she does a lot of commentaries, or that's basically what she does. She does commentaries on other YouTubers and other scammers and people of that nature. And she has loads and loads of clips, large clips even, of these other social media channels to incorporate. Here's one right here. As I mean, here's a bunch right here, just to get out her point. And I'm looking at these and I'm saying, well, I do the same thing. So I had, and I'll show you this as well. I know I'm gonna be all over the place probably with this video, but so I created this channel once I got denied the last time, and I'm gonna move all my movie reviews over here and everything else. I have these commentaries about film locations because I was interested in film locations and if they're still around and the history behind them. So I have a lot of clips in there. They're documentaries. So I don't see what the difference is between what I did and what I still have remaining up to these other channels. And then here is Fanboy Flicks, another great one. He makes fun of bad movies. There's the big and fat Steven Seagal. But anyways, my point is he has clips in his movie reviews. So I don't know what the difference is. And then also, they're very lax. YouTube is very lax on their policies. So their nudity policy. And I'm like, you can put up nudity as long as it's not titillating. So I was a 14-year-old boy. I stayed up 11, 12 o'clock to watch Skinemax. Cinemax. Just looking for that little bit of boob, just looking for that little naked woman. You sit through all these Cinemax movies and you get a little bit of nudity. And you know what us 13, 14-year-old boys are doing. Come on now. So these women are practically nude, and this is perfectly acceptable. They have a thanks here, so they're monetized. This is like tape, and I don't care that these channels exist. I love women. I love naked women, so I don't care if these channels exist. I'm just, the hypocrisy behind YouTube is basically what I'm getting at here. And how lax they are in their policies based on what's up there is my point here. So these are just women in tape. They might as well just be nude. It's like an artistic thing, and I can see the art in it. Same thing here. Here's a woman. I had to freeze it here. So if she'll come around front. You'll see everything. You'll see her boobs. She's nude. All right. Technically, it's a fashion channel. You can see everything. So this girl, I freeze framed it right here. But if you go here, and you might be able to see at the bottom, full bush. You can see everything. Oh, big deal. She's got a little see-through clothing on. She's got a little clothing on. You could still see her bush and her nipples and her ass. And YouTube, come on, that's not titillating. So their rules are very lax. And another thing is how much, and I said this in my correspondence. So how much is too much? How much is a clip is too much? And I gave examples of channels. And they said, oh, well, we can't compare your channel against other channels. So that tells me, okay, then you are catering to other channels then if you can't. You need to specify how much we can use. And you don't. It's very vague, and you can monetize and demonetize anyone at your whim. So that's what pissed me off. Not necessarily the demonetization part, because I will do anything to my videos. I will take them down. I will move them to another channel without demonetization. You have to tell me. You're not specifying. I'm doing exactly what these channels are doing now. The first demonetization, I understood. I said, okay, I know what I did wrong. I'm going to set myself up for the next April 7th. So when they get it reviewed again, I'm going to be all set. And I'm going to show you my review too. I'll show you right after this. So I knew in the back of my head, I know they're going to deny me because that's my luck and that's me and that's my world. And everything I've ever tried has always pretty much not necessarily failed, but been in an even keel. It got to a certain point and that was it. So I kind of figured they wouldn't monetize me. So I reached out to the Better Business Bureau and I said, hey, this isn't fair. That some people get to do things and other people. No, I sound like a 10-year-old now that I say it. But that's your outlet. That's your recourse. Better Business Bureau. And they sent my information over to YouTube/Google, and they emailed me, and we've had a correspondence. Nothing went anywhere, but we had a correspondence. At least they did that. Meta didn't even do that. So kudos on them at least. Now, if there's a company in a state, you can also reach out to the Attorney General. Now, I haven't heard back from the California Attorney General. Do I expect to hear back from them? No, but I didn't expect to hear back from YouTube either. So who knows? So that's out in limbo. And if anything ever comes of that, at least report it. If you feel in any situation, it doesn't have to be YouTube. At least report it. If you feel slighted, you're a taxpayer, you work. I'm not a taxpayer in California, but I pay taxes, federal government. So what's the difference? I pay taxes in New York. So if you're a taxpayer, you feel you've been slighted by a corporation, that's where your government comes into play. And we won't get into the politics of corporations and government and politicians and how they're all buddy and stuff. It doesn't happen across the board, but you do hear stories and everything. That's all politics, and that's nothing we're going to get into. There are outlets, there are entities where you can say, hey, this isn't fair. And I'm nobody. I'm a pimple on a fly's ass, right? I am no one, but if a bunch of no ones are sending in complaints, then things are done. That's why we have regulations. We have checks and balances in this country. That's why we are not we are a republic. We are not a democracy, which everyone thinks we're a democracy. We're a republic. That's where you hire people. That's why the electoral college is around and yada, yada. This isn't an education on our judicial or executive branch of government, our three branches of government. But yes, we are a republic. We are not a democracy. So we hire people to do this for us, or we vote for people to do this for us. And this is why these entities are here. So I would reach out. If you ever feel slighted in any way by any company, reach out. That's why they're there. You might be wrong. You might be right. It doesn't matter. If a bunch of people complain, then you've got people who want to be elected looking into it. So there you go. That's my spiel on this. Before I get into the letter, I'm going to show you my dispute. You can send a 5-minute dispute video to them. It didn't do me any good, but I mean, if you have the opportunity, do it. It's the opportunity. I'll show you mine, and maybe you can compare it to yours, and do better than I do a better job than I did. I also wanted to show you this. This is a great tool. This is Social Blade. So I just wanted to show you. This is where I took all my videos down. These are subscribers. So my subscribers went down too, as you see. And then I took those videos down. So now I just gotta build it back up where I'm not at a negative viewership, but that's not a big deal. I still can get monetized. That has nothing to do with anything. All right, let me show you that video. Hi, I'm Christopher Mosier, and my channel is My Media Helper. Here's the URL right at the top here. And my channel is basically about IT computer tutorials. Mostly, I will throw in some movie reviews here and there. Like right here, I have exploring iconic film locations. So I'm into movies and I'm interested in locations that were built and still standing. So I reviewed those and did a video on that. I've done 4 of those already. But as you can see, I'll do some commentary here once in a while. I'll do even a cooking segment once in a great while when I'm in the mood. But mostly it's computer tutorials. And it's basically this setup that I have here. I have a camera right here, and I was using Loom once upon a time, but now I use this awesome screen recorder. So as you see, you're recording me and the screen at the same time. So how do I come up with my ideas to the fact that in IT, it's a matter of necessity, meaning if I have to learn something for my job, then I make a video on it. If there's a piece of software that I use, a piece of equipment that I bought, I'll do reviews, just questions that are asked. Like here's a question right here that was asked of me, how to make room calendars for SharePoint. So I'll make a video on that. I'm actually doing that right now. So I do script everything. Here's the movie set still standing. That's a video that I did. I did use clips from movies, which a lot of sites do. And I do commentary over movies and I do use clips, but I have scripts written. And here's another one I'm writing. Terrible TV to movie remakes, old TV shows that are being remade into movies. So I'll use clips from that. I'll use movie clips from that. But as you see, I'm just starting this. But this is my script I'm starting to write because I'm watching each movie and I'm reviewing them as I watch them. So I do use Chat GPT in order to get my information or some of my information. It's not always correct, so I always have to check and double check. Use the Googles. So I just obviously just put in today's the solar eclipse. So I'll put in the solar eclipse. I'm making a video on that for another channel. So I'm getting information off that, I'm getting information off here. Wiki, again, Wiki's kind of like Chat GPT. It's not always correct. So I'll use all 3 of those resources. And I also should mention that I only write scripts for commentary. So if I do a tutorial as far as computers are concerned, that's off the top of my head, just because I know how to do it in my head. I don't need to write it down. And then I use Canva mostly. I'll use Pinnacle Studio when I want to do multi-camera or more robust video editing, but really I just use Canva. And here is, so here's a computer tutorial I just finished last week, I think, starting all websites over from scratch. This is a WordPress tutorial. So it's just me. Most of these are just me in front of a screen showing people how to do things. That's what most of my videos are. Here's a film location one I did where I did use clips, just like anyone else does. And as you can see, everything on the bottom here's narration and music. And you can see I'm using clips, but I'm also narrating over them. And then I'll use this guy explaining the train wreck and then what they went through for the train wreck. And then I'll go back to my commentary. So I don't see that any different than anyone else or what they're doing is my confusion as to why I wasn't accepted this time out. I was accepted before and I had way more content. I had public domain movies up. And things of that nature. And I took all that stuff down. So here's the videos that I made on them. Those are all down now. And if we go over to Social Blade, you'll see right here where I took them all down, negative 298,000 views plus. The dip right here, and then I'm just trying to get it back up to where it was before without that content. I use audio from you folks, so I don't get any hits on that. I don't have any copyrights infringement or anything. If I do, I'll try to appeal it, and if it doesn't get appealed, then I will remove it or take it down or replace it. So I conform to whatever anyone wants me to do in order to keep my channel up, to get it monetized. I try to do the right thing. So I feel that the fact that I wasn't monetizing this time out, I did everything that was asked of me, and I feel it's unfair. So, of course, I'm going to, because I'm the creator, and we all value our channels, and we all possessive of our channels. We all love our channels. So, of course, we're very protective of our channels. So that's my process. That's what I do, and hopefully you reconsider, and I can get back to doing what I love to do. And so thank you for your time. We're just barely under 5 minutes. Peace out. And you only have 5 minutes to do your dispute video, so that's why I hurried up right at the end there. I think my mistake is if I was to critique myself, and the major mistake that I made is I did not focus on the IT portion of the site, which is most of the site. I think my thinking was, hey, I'm using clips for documentaries and movie reviews, and I wanted to show them that. In hindsight, as Monday morning quarterback, now I'm thinking I should have just stuck to the IT stuff, but that might not have made a difference anyways, and that's not particularly what my bitch is about anyways. So here's the correspondence, as you can see, back and forth. And they call themselves, now I know this is not the same. Oh, that's Elvin. Maybe it is the same person. I don't know. What the hell's her name? Rove, Rocks. Rocks is her name. Supposedly, I talk to this Rocks most of the time. And I sent out screenshots of, they wanted more information on what I did. So I sent out screenshots of my Drupal tutorials and all my SharePoint tutorials and all my computer tutorials, which is just oodles and oodles of them, as you can see. Just back and forth. And basically, I'm just telling them the same thing I've already told you. I don't really need to get into it too much. I'll scroll down and get myself out of the way. So if you do want to, I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I'll scroll down very slowly. So if you want to pause the video, you can read what the correspondence was. This is just me explaining my whole story and how I got monetized and then how they demonetized me. And there's the screenshots I just showed you that I sent them, and so on and so forth. And I'll just do this. So hopefully this will help you, give you an idea as far as going towards monetization. A lot of you don't even use clips. A lot of you people just sit back and talk. Yeah, if you're not using clips, if you're not doing documentaries or commentaries on other channels, then you're all right. You're fine. You don't have to worry about it. It's the fact that, okay, you are allowed by fair use to use clips for videos. There's no line though. They don't have any type of line. They have it all very vague as far as what you can do. And I figure as long as you're doing commentary over it and you're making it something new, then it is acceptable. But even that's not the case either. And these are videos that have no copyright claims, right? You get those copyright warnings and then you put in your dispute. And then in all my cases, the disputes are released. The videos are released because they're documentaries, because I use them as fair use. And these companies release their clips. I've never had a problem. I had a strike a while back, but that had nothing to do with a dispute. The company it was Warner Brothers, and they automatically striked me for using a Thanksgiving, I don't know, Daffy Duck cartoon or something stupid like that. But these are videos with no copyright claims or anything on them. I want to emphasize that. And that's also, if the companies don't care, YouTube, why the fuck do you care? As long as you're making money. So I'm moving all my reviews over here. And by July 7th, they should all be over there and they'll all be off my channel. And I guess in hindsight, or if I was to put a positive spin on it, I would say, okay, then this is going to be solely an IT channel and just solely about computer tutorials. And I'm kind of fidgety to the fact that, is that going to be enough? Is that going to do it? But we'll see, right? I can't tell the future. Is that going to be good for July 7th? I don't specifically use YouTube. I just don't use YouTube. It's my main platform. Excuse me. Too much coffee. It's my main platform. I use all other social media services, I should say. I just don't solely go on YouTube. And that's a lesson I learned through Facebook when they canceled my account, which I have videos on that too if you want to learn about that. So I hope I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about, give you an idea of what I went through, give you an idea of my first video, kind of where I came from, give you an idea of what my monetization story kind of was and what I had to go through and put up with. And the major thing that really pisses me off is the fact that, okay, I had videos up. You monetized me. I had videos up I made money off that advertisement, and it's only $450. I mean, that's not a pocket change, but it's not going to kill me. It's not going to break me as a human being. I'm not worried about the money. I'm more worried about the monetization and growing, because I want to grow. And once that, in April 7th, when that demonetization happened, and when my appeal was denied, that just took the wind right out of my sails, and the anxiety, which is not YouTube's fault. I have anxiety as a human being, just flared up, and I'm just telling you what happened. And do I want to do this? Do I want to move forward with this? Why am I wasting my time? I don't like being this. I did that with my writing career, where I got to a certain point and it just stagnated. It just was this, and I quit. I'm just refocusing, I guess. I'm recentering. I'm altering the plan that I had. I thought I would be monetized at this point, which I was for a couple months, and I want to build from there. So it's just a goal thing. It's not necessarily a money thing. I don't want to stay where I am. I don't want to be consistent at one level. I want to be consistent with videos. I want to be consistent at one level. I want to branch out and grow, and it's just the way I am. That's why I've had 9 million jobs in my lifetime. Not only because I'm an alcoholic, but the fact that I can't stay. I can't do the same thing over and over. It drives me crazy. So that's about it. I have other outlets that I'm going from now. I refocused, I reanalyzed, I shaved my hair, I shaved my head, and I'm going to share with that stuff once it's starting to hit. For instance, the Amazon Associates program, which I really didn't focus on too much before. I'm focusing on that, so I am getting some sales from that. So once that grows, I will share that with you and how I did that. But I just wanted to share all this stuff with you, and what I went through. And you can't, and that's why I said in my first video, if you happen to watch it, this is not a job. It can be a side hustle. I would call it more a side hustle. A lot of people make a living off it. Don't come into this thinking you're going to make a living off YouTube or any other social media. You can't. And don't think that's going to sustain you, because you could be making a lot of money one day. Look for Illuminati, for example. She got called out on her bullshit, and she was making tons and tons and tons of money. And now all her viewership dropped, and all her monetization dropped. And I'm sure she lost money with sponsors and things of that nature. Where is she to go if that's all she had? So I would have a backup plan. I would have a job, unless you're making tons and tons of money and you saved tons and tons of money, which I have investing videos as well, which you can seek out, and I would invest a lot of money. If you're making a lot of money at one point, don't spend it all. Invest it for a rainy day. I wouldn't rely on YouTube as a living. You hear all the success stories of people making a living off it, but there's lots of me out there that do work a job, and have other means of income. So don't go into it thinking you can't make a living off it and you can't make tons of money off it, because you probably can, but not everyone. Maybe 0.1% of you maybe will do it, and the others will just will live the life that people live, I suppose. Go to work every day. It's so depressing sometimes. But that's it. I don't want to beat this to death. And I thank you, as always, everyone who's subscribed so far. Thank you very much for at least getting me to where I need to be as far as viewership and subscribers. Now, I just wait till July 7th, see what happens. I'll let you folks know. And please subscribe if you could. Please like, please share. Please hit the bell for updates, and then hopefully this helped somebody out there. All right, gals and guys, it's been my two-parter, and hopefully someone watches it and gets some tips, and I think I said that already. Now I'm just dragging this shit out. All right, I'm going. I'm leaving. I'm going to go do something else. All right, peace out.